We turn to the war in Ukraine now, where both Russia and Ukraine have been using unmanned drones for attacks and information gathering. Russia has made particular use of Iranian-made so-called suicide drones carrying explosives. They can spend significant time in the air before finding a target and crashing into it. DW's correspondent Mathias Bölinger went to meet Ukrainian soldiers whose job it is to shoot them down.
This is what some of Ukraine's most important army units look like. This is a mobile air defense unit protecting the capital from drones. As soon as they're told that Shahed drones are approaching, they take position and try to shoot them down.
A Shahed drone measures 2.5 on 3.5 meters, but in the sky they are just small dots.
Drones might be weapons of 21st century warfare, but defense against them are not. DSHK machine guns like this one were first used on the battlefields of World War II. While the control center sends the coordinates and estimated trajectory of the drones to the soldiers, on the field they rely on their own eyes for targeting.
We had special training to teach us how to shoot in front of the trajectory. We're not shooting straight at the drone, but in front of it to create barrage fire. We aim quite far ahead of the drone.
This is just a demonstration. The army won't take us to their actual positions. At the moment, the drones mostly come at night. The Ukrainians rely on tracer ammunition and night vision devices. Rain, fog or snow make it difficult, which is why bad weather makes drone attacks more likely. It's a game of cat and mouse.
In the beginning, they sent them straight to their target on a linear trajectory. Then they learn to program them in a way so they take a different route every time. We were expecting them to come from one side, and they were coming from another direction. That's how the enemy is trying to avoid the places where our forces have shot down Shaheds. They're trying to find holes in our defenses. But there are none. At least that's what I think.
For these World War II guns, retirement is not in sight.
For more, let's bring in Marina Miron from the Defense Studies Department at King's College London. Marina, good to see you again. Both Russia and Ukraine have made extensive use of drones in this war. How significant do you think they have been on the battlefields?
Thank you for having me. Well, at the beginning of the war, Russia has seen the use of Bayraktar TB2 drones supplied by Turkey and identified a capabilities gap because the Turkish drones have acted as a battlefield disruptive force for the Russians, and it wasn't easy for the Russians to defend against these drones. And we have to also say that these drones have both reconnaissance and strike capabilities, and the Ukrainian force has used these drones to strike targets, to strike Russian targets, which has been disruptive. However, we cannot say that these drones were decisive because we have to look at the entire use of unmanned aerial systems that have been used in Ukraine, and Bayraktars were just a small number. The other drones that Ukraine has used were of different classes, and I think perhaps the most important ones were used on the tactical level.
I want to ask you about a report from CNN earlier this week that says that Iran appears to be modifying the drones it's supplying to Russia to cause maximum damage to Ukrainian infrastructure targets. What do you make of this report?
Well, I think for Russia, it is a smart move to modify those drones because due to economic sanctions since 2014, it's been very difficult to get military components necessary to build those drones. So the development and construction of Orlan or other drones have suffered as a result. So to substitute that, using Iranian drones was ideal. And now modifying the drones, as far as I know, the navigation system for the drones has been switched to the Russian-controlled GLONASS. And so Russia is also contesting other Western countries in space. Therefore, it would make more sense, because what Russians are using now are electronic warfare weapons to counter Ukrainian drones and to jam them, so they wouldn't want to accidentally jam their own drones. And obviously, they're also working on modifying the explosive payload in order to create maximum damage.
Well, thank you so much for that update. That's Marina Miron from King's College London. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.